Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it. Make we talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents yard and broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth. Make we reason. Make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va. No upper echelon. Nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica. Make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength. Make we reason. Make we talk. If we see corruption in any shape or form, we're going to highlight it.
Good afternoon. We're listening and watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. It's the Make We Talk program. We're going to start a bit early because we have to accommodate certain things that is going on in the land of wood and water. Hold on for me. Are you all hearing me? Sir Robert Finton Smith, welcome to the program, sir.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I am doing good. Let me start with my opening commentary. Jamaica is at a crossroad in our country where we allow certain things to continue to happen in this nation of ours. Where politicians believe that they can appoint their friends to high office in this country and just get away with it blatantly. The time has come for the Jamaican people to really get up. Stand up for what you believe in. Don't stand for a political party, but stand for this nation. And as we sit down and we see what is going on in the halls of Parliament, in the halls of Jamaica House, are we going to continue like this? Are we going to continue accepting what has been given to us? Though bitter it may be, we still accept it? Is this the nation that we want to leave for children? And so tonight, as I come on air, I will continue to hammer down these few words to my fellow Jamaicans. It is today that our best work can be done, and not some future days or future years. And the sense of urgency is what we must have today. Knowing, as the saying goes, eternal virtue is the price of liberty. The price of liberty, my Jamaican people, is to stay alert, seek the truth, and to actively participate in the fight for the democracy of this nation. So, Smith, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir.
As we come on air, Jamaica is faced with something that you wonder what is next in this country. I have with me Sir Robert Finzi Smith. So, Smith, your take on the appointment of Mr. Dennis Strong. But before we get into that, let's let our listeners and viewers know that at 7 p.m. Jamaica time, 8 p.m. U.S. time, my special guest will be none other than Transport Minister, Opposition Spokesperson on Transport, Mr. Mikael Phillips. One moment for me, please. Give me 2 minutes, please. Give me 2 minutes to introduce the guest. 2 minutes. Okay. So, yeah, I'm on with Finzi. So, Smith, go ahead, sir. Your take on the appointment of Mr. Gentleman there.
It's a little disconcerting.
Yes.
I came across a clip where Mr. Chung was asked to comment on the matter of the Prime Minister's Integrity Commission case. And his comments at that point in time left very little to the imagination as to his opinion.
Do you want to play that video there that he sent to me?
If you would, please.
Here we go.
In the report tabled in Parliament on Tuesday, Director of Investigations Kevon Stevenson says the millions of dollars transferred between three companies linked to Mr. Holness raises several concerns. He has called on Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, and the Financial Investigations Division, FID, to probe the company's accounts for potential irregularities. According to the report, Mr. Holness is connected with or had financial interests in three companies: Imperium, Positive Media, and Estate Bridge. Imperium is wholly owned by Mr. Holness and is a holding vehicle for his assets. A forensic examination of accounts attributed to Mr. Holness and the referenced companies for January 1, 2020 to June 13, 2023 revealed intercompany deposits and withdrawals in excess of $470 million and $427 million respectively. According to Mr. Stevenson, the transfers are not supported by the apparent capital generated. But Mr. Chung questions the veracity of this claim.
And I'm trying to figure out what the relevance of that finding is, because transactions can move between accounts based on, liquidating one asset, getting a loan, setting it up somewhere else, and set it up somewhere else for use. So, for example, Positive Jamaica, I understand, is a foundation, and you might want to move money from a foundation to another account, which is an investment account, to do transactions. Particularly when I look at Table 6, which is the assets, liabilities, and income held by Mr. Holness, you don't really see any significant positive movement in it. You see that there's movement between US dollar assets and Jamaican dollar assets, but the total of it doesn't seem as if there's any significant increase in assets.
The chartered accountant also calls into question claims by the Commission that a company named Green Emerald does not generate sufficient income to support loans valuing $20 million to Positive Media between 2021 and 2022.
I've looked through the report and I see, for example, that they're questioning loans from a company that does not have the income to lend the money. You don't have to lend money like that. You can lend money by basically being a guarantor, taking it in one name and sending it to another company. So there are some things there that I'm still trying to understand the conclusion from it, because I think there are still some things missing.
In addition, Mr. Chung says the Director of Investigation's claim of potential tax evasion on the basis of certain entities filing nil tax returns is dubious.
People filing nil returns, if you don't generate any profits, because remember, income is not profits, then, you could file a nil return. And a lot of people also in the country, not just be touching this one, get dividends, for example, which is taxed at source, and don't know that they're supposed to file that also. I don't find that there's anything suspicious with it. The assumption also is that the tax people are not doing their work if the filings are made, because when you file, you actually do file financial statements with it. So it's not that you're just going to file the returns.
Yes, sir. You want to go ahead now? It's a bit long.
I think that what you've heard and what I heard recently,
yes,
has removed the area of impartiality that, in my humble opinion, is required to deal with that position that is going to oversee the investigation in that situation. In other words, Mr. Chung apparently has seemingly already arrived at his decision long before he was offered a job or applied for it.
Or maybe he knew he was gonna ask for to get the job. Who knows?
But if he knew that, it would not be wise to have made such a comment definitively about something he'll be asked to impartially investigate.
Yes.
As I said to someone earlier, it's like you're in a race and you pick the start.
Yes. So Smith, I have online with me. For those who are calling in, don't call in as yet. I'm not taking any callers yet. I'm speaking to some guests here first before I can take some calls. So please, those who are calling, no callers yet. My good friend, welcome to the program. How are you doing? Yes. Hold on there. They're not coming through at all. Hold on. Oh, Lord. I know. Hold on. Go ahead for me now. Hello? Why the thing not coming through the mic? It's not coming through the phone. Hold on for me. We're speaking to Robert Finley Smith and also one of our good caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Finley.
Yes, sir.
Because this is some little PR stunt to go on. And then take with feeders. And these things been going on for a good while now.
Well, yes, I am not going to make that accusation. Yeah. I'm only saying.
Find them gun there. You have police. You have a whole heap of police. You can't put police.
Hold on for me, my friend. We're not talking about the guns, we're talking about Dennis Strong.
May I come to it?
Okay.
All right. May I come to it? But while I bring it up, I leave it with Finzi because I'm going to clear the line, So I'm going to put this to Finzi and then let's say the other thing.
Okay.
You have police where you can have a 24-hour surveillance and look out for who coming for them gun there. Right?
You could.
No, as you find it, you jump by a ball out. So this man will come feet. He's not going to come. So you're not going to know who the shipment come to, that way to come from. So that is from the police.
I'm a little further down the road.
I will climb and the building in Halfway Tree, the transport center. I will climb that tower and jump. If Dana Maris can tell me which one of the paper them did advertise the post, what them give to Dennis Strong. And The next thing, tell me who did apply. Then Mauricia damn liar. Nothing advertised.
I won't go as far as to accuse the good minister of not speaking the truth. But I have another point further down the road I am amazed you have not seen. Am I the only one who has a memory that puts me in the place where the Minister of National Security had said that there are approximately 200 guns a month that come in here?
I remember that one.
Yes, man. Yes, man. Our man here is strong, so.
So my question is, how you know that? From whence came your information and what have you done with it? Because remember, it's approximately the same amount of guns that have now been discovered.
So, gentlemen, based on all of this that is going on now, the fine guns, America dropped the Jamaica travel advisory to level 2, and
Stop. Go look at that travel advisory, sir. There are places in Jamaica that are listed as no go.
Oh Lord, I need to look at it then.
That is a fact.
Which would be travel advisory 4.
I'm going to look at it.
Yes. I want to leave the line open that somebody else can call, but I want to see the newspaper where they posted advertising, and if I can't see it, well, you know it go. But if Dana Maris can show me or tell me I'm willing to climb the transport center in half a tree and jump.
Sir, I tell you further than that. She's the Minister of Information.
Yes.
Also, I'm told closely associated with the Education Ministry.
Yeah, she's also the Minister of Education.
No, then you should be well read. Yes? Sure. So, the comment that Mr. Chung made was well publicized, as I've pointed out to you.
Yes.
How does she, in answer to a journalist's question, how did she claim not to have any knowledge of it?
You know, they find it so quick to lie to the Jamaican people about everything, you know, Mr. Smith.
My other problem with that is there are certain positions that people on the face of it are qualified for.
Yes.
Until you discover their antecedents remove that suitability.
Mm-hmm.
Give you an example, not this situation, but someone applies for a firearm license. On the face of it, they have no police record, not even a traffic ticket. They have no signs of mental instability, none of that.
Yeah.
So, them qualify. Until you discover that every now and then they have a drink. And they drink with people whose antecedents and behavior them couldn't apply for a pocket knife, much less a gun. So who you associate with has removed all of your qualifications because your association with them now make you unsuitable. Am I making sense to you?
Yes, sir, you are making sense.
So Mr. Chung has said definitively what he thinks of the case purported against the Prime Minister. How can he then accept a position that will require him as his first order of business to deal with the case referred to the organization he's expected to lead? Let me take it one step further, then we shut up.
Yes.
You go into court, and sitting in front of you is a judge and you say to the judge, Judge, you remember me? And the judge said, No, who are you? He said, I'm the guy who introduced you to your wife. And the judge said, My wife? Life, you son of a gun.
You know, so Smith, how can, as one of our Lakeman asked a question here a while ago, stating, how can there be a gun bust and no one was arrested? What's going on here?
It has happened before. There's precedence for it. Question is, what type of operation did you run? And that can be easily camouflaged by saying it is something ongoing, so we'd rather not discuss it.
So, Francis Smith, with all of these deportees coming back to Jamaica, we don't know if there's any violent one in the midst. What has the Jamaican government put in place to accommodate these people? You have an idea?
The minister indicated in his presentation there was a possibility of electronic monitoring.
Oh.
My question is, if you get a lawyer who is not just out of law school, how can they okay, I made a fool of myself in Chicago, got foul of the law, and got sent home. Okay? And my predisposition to shooting somebody was well exercised. But here's the problem. I didn't shoot anybody in Jamaica.
Good question. So how is it that they want to monitor a person who has not committed a crime on Jamaican soil?
That is my question. I don't know if the answer is forthcoming.
That's a very good question. If a person is deported from the United States, has not committed a crime in Jamaica for the past 10, 20 years, what sort of law allowed the Jamaican government to monitor that person?
I don't know. I'm awaiting. I wait for legal advice on the subject.
I would very much like to have that too.
Because what the minister indicated during his presentation sounds reasonable.
Yes.
Sounds very laid down, you know. Only one thing. One, do we have the equipment to anchor monitor people? Two, do we have the legal rights to do that? Because they have not, to the best of my knowledge, created crime in Jamaica. So on what basis do you legally find yourself capable of doing that? I overstay my time in the United States. Am I going to be anchor monitored? No. Capable of doing that.
And not only that, is the question must be asked, is the Homeless Administration prepared once more to breach the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people?
I can't answer that, having not been privy to the Homeless Administration.
But if they decide to monitor an individual who has not committed a crime on Jamaican soil, Smith, obviously they're prepared. Because I don't think there's anywhere in the Constitution allow them to do that, because the person hasn't committed a crime on Jamaican soil.
Well, here's now the situation. There are lawyers running around licking their chops as we speak. Remember, the government has funds for people who have fallen afoul of their unconstitutional attitude towards them.
Right.
And are taking action to get paid for their inconvenience. And have been awarded in some cases. Do we have the wherewithal and the money to refund all these people for the time you have taken from them, or their right to life and freedom of movement and expression in the country?
That's a very good question.
Also, the person could be given a reputation not gained in Jamaica, but that would make their ability to earn a living very suspect.
Yes.
Where you come from? Well, get deported, you know. Sorry, can't use you.
But so Smith, where you think this country is going? Based on they're saying that crime is going down when nobody said that the crime is going down. They have decided no. They're suggesting to the Jamaican people. Because I want to break in news that family members at Norman Man International Airport are waiting their family members to come out from the airport from a flight coming in from the United States with a lot of people who has been returned. They've been returned because of the Trump administration. My question though, we don't know if the administration of the Holders administration have an illegal right to hold an individual who has committed a crime in the United States, having the right to hold them in Jamaica's monitor them in here in Jamaica.
Again, I await for a learned friend or two, because sometimes two opinions better than one, to brief me on that. But you see, in this very tense political atmosphere, asking a question like that could get you accused of playing politics and getting in the way of good order and discipline.
Good order and discipline, by to my opinion, is infringing the fundamental right of the Jamaican citizen.
Well, we pay homage to a place up north that is currently doing it ad hoc.
Let's go back to the whole FID issue now, Smith.
Yes, sir.
Have you ever heard something like this happen in any other modern democracy? You're a learned person.
They say modern democracy, not a democracy. Maybe a place that has the reputation of being a democracy, but whose actions belie that.
Yes.
Yeah. Again, a certain geographical thing to the north of us have one hell of a constitution, and it's said to be the seat of democracy in the world. But they pick up people and send them to a concentration camp in a country unknown to them. And when found that it's an administrative error, absolutely refuse to return them from whence they were taken, and find ways to try and convince you that, yes, it was an administrative mistake, but we got the right person with no proof. I am saying to people, we must be careful that in trying to adopt all things foreign, we don't absorb that disease. The other problem I have is sometimes you have people who are very big on appearances.
Yeah.
It look good, it sound good, but is it good? Or are you telling me only part of the story? Based on my age, I am a fan of old music.
Yes.
There's a Jamaican song that rings in my ears now. What about the half that's never been told? And I hang on to the other part of the verse that says, what is hidden from the wise and foolish shall reveal to the babes and sucklings. The half that's never been told.
Wow.
I can make something look good if I only tell you the part I want you to hear.
Yes.
And when somebody catches up to you and says, then what about that? I say, you never asked me that. Because there's a number of ways to lie, you know. There's a sin. Most men who have cheated on their wives know this one. It's called the sin of omission.
The sin of a what?
Omission.
Uh-huh.
I'm just tell you the truth.
Hmm.
The other point I heard they say liars figure, but figures don't lie.
Right.
Has anyone done the mathematics in adding up the amount of police fatal shootings to the amount of criminal fatal shootings?
I don't think nobody have done that at all.
I'm willing to bet you good money that if you add them all together, the amount of people killed by the gun come very close to what was there last year. It's just different protagonists.
Yes.
You follow the point I'm making?
Yes, sir.
Also, in the report from Indicom, there are a number of people who suffered the fate who were not attached to any weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Still with me.
Yes, sir. Still with you. Still with you.
I think I have told you of this case. There's a young man called Grandison, I believe, from the grill,
Yes.
who had a slight flu and it turned out to be fatal. He was walking home and accepted a ride from someone who was familiar to him and was intercepted by police, the vehicle they were in. And at the end of the encounter, the driver, who I'm told they were the ones they were looking for, was not there anymore. And the young man got 21 rounds.
Now tell me something now, Sir Smith.
Mm-hmm.
A gentleman you don't have a gun on him.
Mm-mm.
Based on what I was told, he applied for a gun about a week before this incident happened. Are about to apply for a gun.
No, he was approved.
Oh, he was approved.
Yes.
He didn't have a firearm on him at all.
No, not to the best of my knowledge.
He didn't raise his hand based on what we were told.
No.
And the government of this country, along with the police force, pumped 21 bullets inside of him.
And the man they were looking for only got 5.
21 bullets.
And had gone to the station the same day as his bail to a condition of his bail to report, and did. So if you wanted him that badly, why you never stop him then? And during his travels, it is reported he encountered and was stopped at least 2 times by police before the fatal 3rd encounter.
It amazes me. How is it that you can pump 21 bullets inside of a citizen of this country? It reminds me of the assassination of Keith Clark. The assassination. You know, Mr. Smith?
Well,
these people that call government in this country, you know, has done a lot of tragedy on the Jamaican people, you know. They have a lot to answer for, you know, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir. And people who consider it part of the crime fighting scenario can keep doing so until it becomes one of their children or one of their relatives. And then you end up in Rita Marley territory. Who feels it knows it, y'all.
For those who are just joining us, we're speaking to Robert Francis Smith, Major Robert Francis Smith. At 7 o'clock Jamaica time, 8 o'clock US time, we'll be having my special guest is none other than opposition spokesperson on transport, Mr. Mikael Phillips. He'll be coming on to speak to us about the state of Jamaica's transportation sector. But in the meantime, we're here speaking to Robert Francis Smith about the appointment of Mr. Dennis Chung and also the recent gun seizure at the port of Kingston by the JCF.
Have you noticed where a couple of these recent gun finds were located?
Kingston West?
Industrial Terrace.
Yes.
There's a warehouse there that for years has been famous for such fines.
Hmm. So, in all of this, Sir Smith, in all of this, do you believe in your heart of heart that crime is going on in this country, sir?
I believe that who feels it will best be able to answer that for you. There are certain areas that if you go there, you won't find the people playing domino or looting. You won't find the music thumping out of the speaker box while people buy a malt or a beer or whatever. Because it's not safe. And if crime was that far down, it would have been reflected in my mindset that way. Let me be very clear. I support police action. And I support police. I have worked alongside them for decades.
Yes.
What I do not support is the feeling that because they have power and a gun, that the way they handle you is not to be brought into question if it's inappropriate.
But you know, Sir Smith, you know, as you said that, you know what I'm here thinking? You have never heard of any of the people of Upper St. Andrew, Norbrook or Cherry Garden, sons or daughters, being treated the way how a man who lives below Crossroad is being treated. Is treated.
Yeah, well, I can take you back to slavery. If
Yeah.
you're walking about during the time of slavery and them find you outside of the slave barracks, dog yam your supper. But if you live in the big house, them ask you when at the big house, when at the master filing cabinet, you can find a thing of whiskey. It all depends on your status. Any youngster who is able to indicate the, how can I put this delicately, the elevation society-wise of their parents is fairly safe. I think your terminology for them is the Vumpava and the Vumpavi.
Yes, the people of the Vumpava and the Vumpavi.
Now, what that does, though, is create another kind of crime that you may or may not be aware of. Sons and daughters of the Vumpava and the Vumpavi feel entitled. So their behavior is that of an entitled human being. But they will never quite run into the consequences of the behavior because of who them papa and mama is. But someone who has a degree and has a job, and I'll come back to that very quickly.
Yes.
Living below Crossroads is in no such safe zone. Do you realize that when you put up, go for a job, and they have the questionnaire? I mean, which brings me to the point. I don't know if Mr. Chubb was asked to fill out an application, but it comes down to, in most Jamaican places that I know of, they ask for all things, your address, history, all of that. And on it, it says that if you state falsely anywhere and it is discovered, it is immediate dismissal. As such, we have made a number of our citizens prime candidates for dismissal because they have to lie about their address.
Well, that's true, yes.
Because them can't get the work if them know them live there. So they borrow an address, which is fraud. Am I saying anything you don't agree with?
I agree with you, sir.
So you set up youngsters whose mother has sold sweeties, cigarette, weed, anything to get some money to send him to college. and he has gotten the gown, and sometimes they have the money to pay for the graduation, but he have the paper.
Yes.
So he is now a first degree holder. But you have brought him up in a situation where you tell him, go look a job, which is going to be difficult.
Yes.
He takes jobs in places that are far below his qualification.
Yes. You know, as we just bear with us, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. Just a quick commercial break. We'll be right back on the Make We Talk Current Affair program. This evening, we're going to speak to Minister of Transportation and Works, Mr. Opposition Spokesperson on Transportation, Opposition Spokesperson on Transportation, Mr. Mikael Phillips. Take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans ayard and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
Welcome back to the Make We Talk program. Of course, the Ronnie Williams Entertainment Center, wherein the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation will be having a ceremony. It is based on we trying our endeavor best to hold people accountable in Jamaica. So go over to the Magnitsky Act and sign that petition. Go over to the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and donate. We need your support on both page. One of them, you just sign. You don't donate. The other, the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation, you donate over there. Welcome back to the program. This is the Make We Talk program. The time courtesy of the One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation is 7:27 right here in South Florida, 6:27 in the land of wood and water. We're speaking to none other one of Jamaica's son of the soil, Sir Robert Finzi Smith. We're going to speak about what is going on in Jamaica. We're going to speak about the whole thing of they appointing Dennis Chung to the FID. Welcome back, Mr. Smith.
Thank you. The point I will finish making is we have not taught our youngsters to get educated and own something. So we have kept them in the fields. Are you with me?
I'm with you, sir. Go ahead.
Again, let's go back to old Jamaican music. And the tricks of the trade is to keep the hungry bellies empty.
Yes.
Think I'll check it out. Now, when I look at the situation as it stands, I have an unfortunate memory. I usually remember things that most people choose to forget. So when there was this interview that you played a little bit of with Mr. Chung indicating his feeling about the case against the Prime Minister, it immediately sparked a memory.
Yes.
The memory that it sparked is when Mr. Chung spoke about, I don't want to misquote, but he dismissed, to the best of my memory, an allegation about how the money moves and what would cause money to move like that, and indicating that there would be reasonable grounds for money to move the way it moved.
Yes.
So he sounded, to me at least, like a defense attorney for the accused.
Right.
How now are you going to get up and say you are going to investigate the person that you have already declared innocent?
Mm-hmm.
There's another comment that I'm trying to trigger my memory on. It had something to do with taxes
Yes.
and the payment or non-payment of sale.
Mm-hmm.
It all just suffices to say it crossed into the area that he will be required to oversee.
Right.
So he has already indicated his bias.
And that is why he should have just step aside.
Not only step aside, my question is, did he respond to an ad? Was he invited to apply? Or did he do so under advisement?
Because if there's such an ad, the ad is supposed to be on the website of the government of Jamaica.
Yes.
And to the best of our knowledge, I don't think that there's anything up there.
I have not come across it.
Because they cannot cross it.
I'm supposed to be the comedian. But there's something nagging at my mind. I'm trying to bring it to the fore.
Yes.
That was very interesting in terms of its indication of bias.
Mm-hmm.
And it won't for the life of me come forward. But it will get there sooner or later.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, how are you going to perform efficiently and effectively with a cloud hanging over your head? You follow me?
Yes, yes.
As an accountant at the level that Mr. Chung is, he must be fully aware of the thing that says you must declare interest. If you come across a case that you're asked to adjudicate and deal with, and you have relatives or involvement with any of the people involved, you must declare interest. If you don't, and it later comes to light that you have interest and did not declare it, it immediately clouds any findings you may attempt to put up.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
Now, I don't know of Mr. Chung's training in investigative skills. I know that chartered accountants are called upon to look at things and come to conclusions.
Right, but well, based on the little knowledge that I have, when you're doing the ACCA course, Chartered Accounting Course out of London, you have a little investigated law thing that you have to do. If my memory serves me correctly. It's not a whole lot, so I don't know. I mean, maybe he's an investigated person that we don't know, Mr. Sovereign.
I have been acquainted through one way or the other with Mr. Chung for years. I'm not aware of that side of it. But do your own investigation.
We are doing that too.
Did you get exposed to Shakespeare?
A little, yes.
Julius Caesar?
Yes.
Yonder Cassius has a lean and hungry look.
Oh my God. So Smith,
Yes, sir.
I wonder if an individual could call this program and get in contact with me about is it the basketball or the Jamaica Football Federation?
I think it's Football Federation.
Yes.
Until recently, he was the general secretary.
He was the general secretary. Mr. Chung was the general secretary.
Yeah.
I wonder if they oh God, where the thing name again? Who's I want him to call me, man. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I wonder if that person can call me and tell us some more of what happened when Mr. Chung was secretary.
Oh, to the best of my knowledge, I think I know of whom you may speak.
Yeah.
I believe the lady was the founder and the head of the Beach Football Association. It went
right. Yes. I don't remember her name. But anybody who know her, give her my number for me, no? I want her to call me because I want to hear what really happened when that person was secretary for the Jamaica Football Federation.
The lady, to the best of my recollection, was very pointed in her remarks. Let me put it that way.
Because a little birdie has been pinching me and telling me some stuff, you know, Smith.
Well, you can. It's open thing because it was in court. You could access the information to let you know what the case was all about.
Yeah.
If the person is willing to come forward and speak to you, that's up to them. It's no longer a court case, to the best of my knowledge.
Was Mr. Chung a part of Petrojam to Sir Smith?
Not to the best of my knowledge. If he was, I wasn't aware of it.
I heard in a program this morning hosted by Jamaica's Idiot Amin, who's in the Senate, who said that the good gentleman, Mr. Chung, presided over the WMSA, that's what I call it, yes. When Jennifer Edwards was there, and he said something about Jennifer Edwards, and he said the only person could have sought out where Jennifer Edwards is, Miss Jennifer Edwards is the goodly man from that pharmacy there, who is now appointed.
I think I know of whom you speak, yes.
But you know, we can't take what Idiot Amin said as Bible and verse, you know, because Idiot Amin is a notorious, pathologically mendacious individual, you know, who sits in the Senate.
Well, I prefer to be diplomatic and say sometimes the facts do not necessarily coincide with the narrative. I'm not sure. Without knowing what specifically you speak of, I would not be in a position to comment.
What I'm saying is this, Sir Smith, that gentleman there, and I know you know who I'm talking. He will go on radio airways and spew lies and try to convince the Jamaican people that crime is going down and poverty is going down. When some Jamaicans can hardly afford a tin of dirty girl.
Well, in the days of World War II,
yes,
one of Hitler's henchmen, Goebbels, once said, and I'm not now saying that this is attributable to the good senator, but would say, tell a lie, make it a big lie. Tell it repeatedly. Tell it with fervor, vigor, vitality.
Vim, and vitality, yes.
And if you tell it often enough, it becomes perceived as the truth.
Yes.
It has been a tactic used throughout the ages since then. And in a place like Jamaica, where most people depending on their political affiliation or other biases, don't think it is worth it to fact check it.
Yes.
And the greatest lie told was often based on the truth.
Uh-huh. So Smith, it is now 7:40. 6:40 in Kingston, Jamaica. Where we're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. This is the Mekwe Talk program. We're awaiting the arrival of opposition spokesperson on transport, Mr. Mikael Phillips, who will be our special guest tonight. But before you go, Sir Smith, I know you're going to stay with me for the duration of the program. But I'm going to switch the conversation to something now that I saw last night. Are you aware of a certain gentleman's birthday yesterday?
No, whose birthday?
The one who said, Andrew is a good boy, but he's no leader.
Ah.
Well, obviously, this morning, I heard the goodly idiot Amin said that Babsy Grange Ministry has money to do anything they want to do pertaining to culture. In other words, I'm paraphrasing here. In other words, Miss Grange's ministry can put on anything because it is a part of the culture. My question tonight is, this evening is, who paid for the National Revival get-together that they had last night? Is it the revival movement in Jamaica pay for it? Or is it the taxpayers of this country? Who paid for it?
Most things in Jamaica are paid for by the taxpayers, directly or indirectly.
I want you to watch something here from Mr. Smith, where the minister was seen jumping up and down and sending a message to the members of the Jamaican diaspora not to trouble Zion. Look at this. My question tonight, who paid for this?
I don't know.
I'm not hearing this estimate at all. You're going down low.
When you find out, let me know, then we'll both know.
I'm not hearing you at all, sir. You're going very low.
Are you hearing me now?
A little bit better. You're using an earpiece.
No. I have it on speaker.
No, I can't hear you at all, Minister.
Let me see if I can adjust it. Is this better?
Go ahead.
Okay. My question, if yesterday was Mr. Siaga's birthday, is that it?
It was.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, was any wreath laid on his resting place in Hero Circle?
Oh, yes. The Prime Minister was there laying wreath. The leader of the opposition represented by Angela Brown-Burke. Mrs. Carla Siaga was there. I think Mrs. Eldemire Shearer was there too. Desmond was there. A lot of them was there laying wreath on an open Jeffrey behave herself on Mrs. Siaga's grave.
Who attended in Boston?
Well, I get to understand that the Prime Minister went to Boston.
Okay. I just asked. I'm being mischievous. I'm sorry.
Oh Lord. Well, we're asking the question tonight because I want to know who really paid for this get together that they have at Hero Circle yesterday. Well, now it was in Emancipation Park or somewhere they had it.
Well, there are a lot of things about I.
Quiet again.
So they said a lot of things about I, but there is one thing they cannot sing about I.
Uh-huh.
You didn't hear about Eddie's famous speech in Sam Sharp Square?
Yes, and nobody can call me. Uh-huh.
Yeah, when him say they said I didn't have a woman at my yard.
Yes.
But there is one thing they cannot sing about I. They cannot sing boom bye bye about I. Has anyone told Mr. Vaz that was Eddie's statement?
I don't think Mr. Vaz have the capacity to understand anything, you know. Trust me. I think Mr. Vaz is termite has eaten up Mr. Vaz's brain.
But do you realize that it's quite possible that Mr. Vaz has aimed at you bloggers?
Of course he has aim.
Because in his mind, all bloggers identify somewhere else.
Yes. But if he continue to, you know, there's something circulating that I don't wish to say here on air.
Mm-hmm.
But they may have eyes on all of us.
Well, my thing is that the best defense against surveillance is keeping your nose clean.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I wanted to show another video here. This was Hero Circle where the Prime Minister, everybody was dancing. Look at this. You see that? Desmond McKenzie, Carla Siaga, all of them were dancing.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
I know that our leader of country tends to try and imitate the man up north.
Yes.
And he has succeeded in getting his ability to dance out of time.
Yes. I wonder if he's going to lead one of those parades that up north want to lead.
I don't know.
JD.
Maybe I'm having enough soldiers to do it now.
But I talk about soldiers, Smith.
Mm-hmm.
The Trump administration, I think, has not signed on the whole idea of sending people to Haiti and pay for it. What is going on? You have what is going on with our our men and women in the security forces in Haiti?
Maybe you could ask for a status and welfare check. And considering that it is an active operational zone, it might be a little difficult to get. They can tell you that security does not allow them to do it. But don't stop me from asking. I have a question for you to ask Mr. Phillips when he arrives.
Yes.
Is he aware of the fact that sections of the police force traffic department have joined the tax department?
Repeat again.
Sections of the police traffic department may have joined the tax department.
But isn't that not supposed to happen at all?
Happen all the while. You want left or right?
Oh! Want to say good afternoon to good evening to one of our good friends who is watching us. Jamaica's fearless leader, the man himself, Sir Wilfred Radigan, who is watching us right now. Good afternoon, good evening to you, sir. Sir Smith.
Sir.
So you're saying to me right now that they have joined a part of the tax administration?
No new taxes can be boasted about, perhaps because of the amount of traffic tickets collected. Some that were even issued under a regulation that didn't exist.
Yes.
We still don't hear how that goes.
Well, didn't a court rule on that they should pay back the bus and taxi, pay back the transport?
The court has ruled on a number of things. Have they been enforced?
Well, that's true.
Do we have the funds to enforce it? Ask Mr. Phillips to have a discussion with the Taxi Drivers Association. It will be a fascinating conference.
Well, as soon as we get him here on the program this evening, it is now 7:51. 6:51 in Kingston, Jamaica. Good evening to Walking in Divine Purpose, who's in the chat room as usual, moderating things, pulling things down. Thank you for coming on. Wherever you're listening, watching from around the world in the Eastern Caribbean, we're speaking to none other than one of Jamaica's finest of all time. One of Jamaica's eldest, I would say, statesman who remember things, has a brain of an elephant. Sir Smith. Sir Robert Finzi Smith. Sir Smith, as we wrap, because I know you have to go, talk to us. Your take on, what would you say to what is going on now in Jamaica pertaining to this appointment of Mr. Dennis Shaw?
Transparency may suffer. Or in the words of another Marley, who called the game?
That's a good one. That's a good one. So Smith, thank you for coming on, sir.
Thank you for putting up with me, sir. I hope I haven't gotten your program into too much trouble. You know, these days there's a girl that is very popular. She named Sue.
Oh my God, I know. Everybody's soon, everybody nowadays.
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Thanks much.
You too. Take care.
Bye-bye. We're standing by here now to join none other than opposition spokesperson and transport, Mr. Mikael Phillips, who will be our special guest tonight as we speak about Jamaica's transportation sector. In the meantime, until Mr. Phillips gets here, the numbers to call in is 954-529-8030. We're also going to have on the program here tonight one of Jamaica's transport personnel too, the president of the All Vice Taxis Association, Mr. Steve Hessin, is about to join us too on the platform here. So as we stand by to get ready to have Mr. Mikael Phillips on the program here with us, I just want to say to you all tonight that as we go along life journey, we must always remember the less fortunate of our land. But as we go along tonight in this area in which appointments are being made left, right, and center in our country, begs to ask the question, will we ever get justice in this country? Will we ever get the truth? As what I said on this thing here, as what I have on here, it is today that our best work can be done, and not some future days or future years. And this sense of urgency is what we must have today, knowing, as the saying goes, eternal virtue is the price of liberty. The price of liberty, my Jamaican people, is to stay alert, seek the truth, and to actively participate in the future of Jamaica's democracy. Are we seeking the truth? Are we demanding the truth? Will we ever get the truth? Some Jamaicans saying that there's no 28 bank account. Some Jamaicans don't trust the Integrity Commission. Some Jamaicans are saying it's a PNP institution. Same with the label the Jamaica Gleaner as a PNP news organization. Will we ever one day stand up for this country and not for a political party? Will we ever one day seek the truth from the leaders who we put there to govern us? Will we demand accountability in this country from those who are the servant of the people of this country? But we let them believe that we are their servants. As I said before, not all politicians are the same. We have some very good ones on both sides of the fence. Just like you have some very good members of the JCF on both sides of the fence and the JDF. But as we seek the truth in the level of corruption in this country, as we seek the truth, I urge my fellow Jamaicans, put away partisan politics and sign the Magnitsky Act. Signed it. Put away partisan politics and seek the truth that we so earned for in this country. Many question the FID like how many are questioning Mocha. Many Jamaicans are questioning Mocha if they will ever do an investigation into the operation at Jamaica House. Many Jamaicans are questioning the justice system in this country. Is the justice system only for the richer class of Jamaicans? And if you don't have an outcry of the Jamaican people, you don't get justice. If there wasn't an outcry for Maria Dean, his mother wouldn't have gotten justice. And so, as we approach an election that is coming up, I urge my Jamaican people, do not stay home. Let no one pay you to stay home. Let no one pay you to stay home. But I ask of you, I beseech you, let your vote be your vote. Get up when the time is to go out and vote for this country. Do not let anyone stop you from voting. It is your fundamental right to exercise your franchise. It is your fundamental right to vote. And think about a $5,000 and 5 years down the line, that $5,000 is already done in one night. That is what we need to do. Vote and seek the truth, cost it what it will. Stand up for this democracy. Stand up for what we believe in. and call a spade a spade. This nation is hemorrhaging. And we are the change that this country seeks. Demand the change that we also seek. Because it was not now, then when? It was not we, then who? Who will do this? Congratulations, Mr. Jeffrey, on your new milestone. If you are not subscriber to the channel, please, when you're doing so, we're in this together. Father God is amazing. What is going on? Walking in divine purpose. Something is going on. We'll talk off air. Seek the truth, my fellow Jamaicans. It is now a minute after 8 o'clock, a minute after 7 o'clock in Jamaica. Let me see if I can get a hold of the opposition spokesperson on transportation, Sir Mikael Phillips. He's supposed to come on. Yes, sir. I'm ready for you, sir.
How long? Because I have a constituency thing.
I know. It won't be long, man. It won't be long. You can give me from 7 to about 8 o'clock?
No.
7 to about 7:30?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, sir. Come on in. Okay. Yes, he has a constituency meeting, which he had told me about that too. So I was trying to get him to come a little bit longer. But, you know, that's okay. As we await Mr. Mikael Phillips to come on, we're waiting to come on to speak to us about the public transport sector. And let me see if I can get a hold of Mr. Hessin to come on to now. Hessin need to come on. We're standing by to join Steve Hessin. I want Mr. Hessin to come on to the program here too. You know, as we see the truth in this country, you know, we must put away the idea that we're a PNP or a JLP and stand up for this piece of rock. Stand up for this piece of rock that we call home. Anywhere in the world we go, we are Jamaicans. We are Jamaicans. Anywhere in the world we go, we are Jamaicans. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where we go. We're always Jamaicans. I want to welcome opposition spokesperson on transport, Sir Mikael Phillips, who is in his constituency working hard as ever. So Phillips, come back to the program.
How you doing? How are you? How are you?
I am good, you know. I haven't seen you here from in a long time, man. You're busy.
Keeping busy in the cool hills of Manchester.
So before we go into the transport, talk to us about what is going on in your constituency, no?
Just doing the work that the people elected me to do. They have said that they want to see me continue with the good works that I've started. You know, so I'm just, you know, doing what comes natural, which is to serve the people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And based on what is going on in our country now, Sir Phillips, do you see Jamaica's political climate in a sense where Jamaicans are afraid of what is going on in this country?
You know, we have seen, well, a downturn in the murder rates and serious crimes. I think that there's still a level of fear within the society because of the type of crimes that we are seeing, and especially those against women and children. So I don't think that the fear factor has reduced.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think the fear factor has reduced or has been reduced. I think that people are still there going through a rough time. You know, personally,
despite what has been said. Not seeing any growth in the economy. So, despite the employment numbers are looking the way that they are, persons are still not earning a livable wage. So, despite what is being said and touted, persons are still going through challenging times.
Yes. So Phillips, and I want to go to transport, but I have to say this to you. I have to ask you this question. Is the Jamaica poverty rate really going down, sir?
Well, remember the poverty rate that was quoted by the PIOJ was from 2023. So, things and times change. The Prime Minister said that it is because of the social programs that they have instituted. The unemployment numbers are low. But as I said, persons are employed but not earning a livable wage. So I said it in Parliament recently that the most requests that I have gotten from my constituents over the last few months is for food. And what that says is that persons are not meeting just their daily needs. So if they're not meeting their daily needs, then poverty is still at a higher number than we think it is. So PIOJ has not completed a survey. The survey they started last year or the year before, they have not completed it. So the numbers that you are seeing are old numbers from 2023.
Okay. Let us switch to the topic that I come here to speak about, transportation. Your father was a part of the transportation sector in this country. He has done a great job in the sense of leading this country through so many turmoils and plus the transportation sector. You are now at the hem of it. If the People's National Party should gain state power tomorrow morning, hopefully you become the Minister of Transportation. Are you prepared now that if you should gain state power and you become Minister of Transportation, you will ensure that the bus and taxi drivers in Halfway Tree have a park?
Let me make it equivocally clear. All 100 plus thousand individuals who have a license will be a part of a comprehensive transport system under People's National Party administration. The 8,000 operators in the KMTR in Kingston Metropolitan Transport Region will have a part to play with a People's National Party administration in government. I said it in my sectoral presentation that, and I spent quite a bit of time speaking about the taxi sector, because we have to reimagine transport. And as it is now, the government, be it this government or another, my party being in government, may not be able to find the resources that are required to bring back the JUTC to what it used to be in the short term. And if that is the case, be it that we find the resources or not, those who have a license, the government has an obligation once they meet the requirement and they act within the ambit of the law, has a part to play. And we are not for boxing of food out of a man's hand. We are about lifting them up from the ground up. And I have consistently said that we need to stop treating the sector as a hustle, but to treat it as a business and treat those who are involved in it as investors in a bigger business. What we want to do is to bring order to the system and to give them a more secure tenure and a part of a bigger operation, which will include government and the private sector.
So when we speak about moving 20,000 students, it is not about government providing the buses.
Yes.
It's about utilizing private investors to operate that service with and for the government.
Yes.
Yeah. When we talk about the franchising, it's not about getting more buses of JUTC and putting them into. Already JUTC has a franchise license for the KMTR. It is how now we make that space, not what Minister Vaz has proposed in giving them a few routes, then opening up back the Hackney licensing regime. So you take off, so you tell some operators, give up your Hackney license and we'll give you a route license. So you're limiting them to that route.
Yes.
Then he goes after that and then open back the Hackney carriage licensing regime to put competition on those who you have now put on the routes. So what we want to do is ensure that they have security of tenure, right? And they feel a part of a more organized system. We spoke about putting in drop off and pick up points. We talk about expanding the parking areas that currently exist and new ones, providing space, getting them off the road, having the transport authority more deal with research and data to drive the sector in a more advanced way. I spoke about bringing technology as a part of the system and the sector itself. Right, so there's no. I've been hearing it that once the PMP is in power and I am minister, that I'm going to be taking away license. Let me just put that to rest. Right, all I have said before, which may be misinterpreted, is that it cannot continue the way it is. What we have to do is to bring order, and I've always said that to bring order and to bring the thing into not only providing for the investors, but we have a responsibility, both the investors and government, to the traveling public.
Yes.
Right? So that's why we even spoke about how it is that government can facilitate those who will be a part of that franchise system. And then we move out into the rural areas in providing low interest loans and grants to assist them to move from a 7-seater to a 15-seater to a 30-seater. Yeah. But our vision is to ensure that whatever system we have is a replica of a modern transport system that can be compared anywhere else around the world, with government and private investors working together hand in hand. That's how we see it. That was my presentation in Parliament on Tuesday.
Yes. Mr. Phillips, when you look on the transport sector, bus and taxi operators have been crying about the unfairness, the unfair ticketing system. Where at one point, I think the government, the court has ordered the government to pay them back. You hear nothing more about that. This is the way they're going to continue treating the bus and taxi drivers in this country. And if you become minister, sir, what are you going to do pertaining to that system there, sir?
Well, I said it in Parliament again, that we would do a review of the Road Traffic Act. Having higher fines don't mean that you're going to get compliance. Right? What we want is for persons to comply because they have had a culture change and believe that they need to follow the law. And I can say that, us having a review of the Road Traffic Act is not to ease up on the lawbreakers, because if you don't break the law, you don't have nothing to worry about. Right? And that's why we said what we want to do is to start from the get-go, sort out this issue with the parking. Because if you look at it, now what exists, Transport Authority provides you with a license,
right? The municipal corporation is supposed to provide with the transport authority adequate drop-off and pick-up points, termination points. They do not provide it. Then they force them onto the roads. And then between the transport authority and the police come to prosecute the same persons who you have not provided adequate parking for. So, you know, early on in a PMP administration, we want to fix that because it also takes care of the traffic congestion that you have in many of the town centers.
You know, there is a group that I was told who you meet with the minister, and that group is the one who organized the meetings, in the sense of they're the one who giving out the route you understand what I'm talking about, sir?
So what the minister has done, and I've said it from day one, is that being the minister, I would bring everyone to the table, right? And because if you're going to be bringing policy forward, you need the voice of everyone, those especially in the sector itself. What the minister has done is to bring a team together. And I think he has probably met with them twice, you know, since he has brought that committee together, which he had invited me to on that committee. And he has relinquished most of his responsibilities to that committee. So when he wanted to do the fare increase, instead of him, you know, doing it how it would normally do, he sat us all around a table and then said, work out a formula and make a recommendation. And that's when I removed myself from it, because what the minister was doing was relinquishing his responsibility onto that committee. Yeah? And I didn't believe that I should be a part of that in itself. Right? So, you know, they have been taking all the decisions. So recently they took a decision that they should open up back Hackney carriages for rural Jamaica. No, we have not seen Hackney carriages in rural Jamaica since 1998.
Okay.
Right? And what that would do is to bring competition on the route taxi operators. And when I raised it with the minister, he's telling me that most likely came from the committee and thing, but they were about to make a call for it, and that's when they pulled it back when I brought it to the minister. But you know, so it's really just him relinquishing some of his responsibility onto persons who really should just really advise, and then the government takes the decision on what is best for the people within the sector and the traveling public.
Yes. Are you know, at one point, and if you remember that I was a part of a group that came to you at Jamaica at the Leader of Opposition office.
Yes, I remember.
Yes. I want to find out from you that old asbestos building in the heart of Halfway Tree. There's a sore eye. Then you have the Ministry of Justice place on there, and a car mart. As minister, sir, if you become minister, are you prepared to, whosoever want a car mart, to leave and lick down that building and make a transport sector there?
Well, the government itself owns the property, so the government can make that decision, of course. You need more space in the Halfway Tree area for to take those who are currently on the road that doesn't have adequate parking.
Yes.
And I believe that even the current transport center
should be able to take more than what it is taking right now. If you're going to have an integrated system, it can't be just JUTC buses and a few rural buses that pass through there, but it has a capacity for more than what it is being used for now. So that question to your answer is that we will look at all available spaces within the area to be able to expand parking for those who have no parking as it is now, and clear up the streets and help to deal with the congestion.
There's an old lady called me on the program a couple of days ago. She's having a problem with number 44, the JUTC bus that travel Mannings Hill Road and so forth. Unconfirmed report, you don't have to comment on this, that majority of the time 44 is not dispatched. It was brought to my attention, as I said, and confirmed, that somebody within JUTC have taxis and buses on that route.
I can't yeah, go ahead.
And if that is so, isn't there something going on within the JUTC, sir, that need to be corrected?
Well, let me tell you what I know, and I can't say what the case is on that 44 route. Is that the JUTC doesn't have the required amount of buses to run an efficient service now with the routes that they have. Hence why persons wait an hour, 2 hours to leave Portmore or Spanish Town in some instances, or even from Papine to halfway tree. Yeah. So what you may find on days is when there's supposed to be 2 buses on a route, there has to be 1 bus, because the required rollout, they do not have the buses for the rollout. So they have to short some of the routes and send to those that have a heavier load.
Yes.
So that may be part of what has happened, but it is something that has happened for most of the routes, because the requirement is to transport 25,000 Jamaicans on a daily basis, right? Utilizing anywhere between 450 buses for efficiency. We are now doing less than 10,000. Yeah. And we are with less than 50% of the fleet. We're rolling out anywhere between 170 to 203 buses on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So there's a challenge that the JUTC has.
But are we going to continue to operate a bus system, Mr. Phillips, that doesn't make any profit per se?
Well, it was never intended to make a profit. It was never intended to make a profit. But what was expected of it was for it to cover at least 50-60% of its overheads. Right? In 2016, it was covering 70% of its overheads. Right? Now, last year, it was only covering 12% of its overheads. Hence why it needs more resources from the taxpayers to subsidize it. So we did not expect it to make a profit. But to be efficient, you have to run it in a way as you would run any other business.
Yeah.
To lower your costs, especially that you're offering a subsidized fare, right? Servicing your buses on a regular basis, right? And having the rolling stock to be able to carry your passengers. Yeah.
You know for a fact that because you and I and a lot of platform, you hear the bus and taxi drivers bawling every single day. I heard you in your open commentary that it's full time they take this transport sector as their business. Are you prepared, if when you become Minister of Transportation, to sit down with these bus and taxi operators, not with the so-called presidents? And who are vexed with me tonight can vex. I really don't care. Not with these so-called presidents, Mr. Phillips, but with the bus and taxi operators. Sit down and talk to them about issues that they face. One of them is also the idea that the OUR, the government must have the fare increase under their belt and not the OUR. Are you prepared, Mr. Phillips, to put it back to the OUR if you become minister?
Well, I think I've said it ad nauseum that I don't believe that the setting of fares should be in the hands of any political directorate, meaning minister, that it should be given to an institution such as the OUR or any other such like that. Because what tends to happen is that we are politicians, yeah? And we will react depending on the mood at the time and how the political climate is at the time. And if you wait too long, as we have over the last 9 years, 8 years, what tends to happen is that when you move it, it's going to be a sharp move upwards for the consumer, right? And by the time you make that move, the cost recovery for the operators, you won't be able to recover that what you have lost over those years. And for them to start seeing a recovery, the incline is too steep in the increase that you'll have to put to the consumers. So just like we do something now for toll rates and JPS, NWC, then if it is, I would not advise for every year, but if it is every 2 years or what, it should not be. It should be taken out of the hands of the political directorate. I'm a firm believer in that.
You may say that I'm all over the place. Let's go back to JUTC for a minute. JUTC has been losing fuel and all sort of thing because they have, as I always say, JUTC have manager for the nut, for the tires, for the windscreen wipers, for the indicator, for the brake light, for everything. Don't you think that JUTC has a heavy overhead on them, sir?
Well, JUTC is expected to have a $6 billion payroll this year.
What?
That's $1.8 billion over last financial year. And I asked the minister, seeing that you are only increasing your staff complement by less than 60 persons, what will drive up your payroll by $1.8 billion? And he has not answered the question. I asked him from March. He was not in the house when I was making my presentation. But it's that for me, with a $10 billion subsidy from the taxpayers, $11 billion subsidy, that's nearly 50% of what your subsidy will be from the taxpayers, right? And you are operating with less than 50% of your fleet. So it is a question that needs to be answered. What would cause for a $1.8 billion increase in salaries at the JUTC this financial year?
My God, that money could go towards so many things.
Yeah, and well, they have somewhat dealt with the issue of the fuel theft. So they are spending less now on diesel fuel. But just to remind you that 53% of the buses that they currently have, 127 of the current fleet are CNG buses and electric buses. Well, I think it's 127 of CNG buses.
Yeah.
Right? So they are So, and nobody's stealing the CNG. But
Okay.
there's a bigger issue to look at where the CNG is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the plant, the JUTC has only one plant to pump CNG to the buses,
Mm-hmm.
and that plant is in Portmore.
So all
But
of us
that
will go to
plant,
Portmore?
so that plant has a capacity of only 150 buses.
Okay.
It's still 150 buses. Now we're at 127, which is basically at maximum
Mm-hmm.
for what that plant can facilitate. But the government is taking delivery of an additional 70 buses. So you have buses, CNG buses in Rockfort and CNG buses in Spanish Town.
Mm-hmm.
And those buses have to leave Rockfort to drive to Portmore to fill up.
That makes no sense.
It's stupid. What that has shown is that just for political expediencies,
Mm-hmm.
they have gone ahead without putting the proper infrastructure in place. And they are having a challenge right now to find a suitable supplier to
Mm-hmm.
build a second CNG plant at the Spanish Town depot.
Yes.
They're having a real challenge.
Wow.
So it's going to be, it is unfortunately, I am hoping for the best,
Mm-hmm.
but I am not seeing how this is going to work out, as Jamaicans would have said, pan out in the mix. Yeah?
Yeah.
With these additional buses and only having one filling plant with a limited capacity.
Makes no sense. I want you to as you go, because I know you have
Yes.
to go, and I don't want to keep you too long, but
Can
can you make me a promise, sir?
Yes, sir.
Can you come back on the program one day?
Yes.
I know you're busy. I know the election in the air, election fever and so forth. But before the election, sir, can you spare us an hour? Just an hour.
Just
to
touch
take
base with me.
calls, to take
Yes.
calls from the members of the public transport
I will.
sector.
Sure.
All right, sir.
Definitely. I will. All right.
As you go though, your take on the political election coming up. You think how
Yes.
much do you think the PNP will win?
The best canvas is election day, Well, what
True.
I can guarantee to you is that the PMP will win.
Yes.
Right? The PMP will win. Right?
All the
So
best.
let's see. I mean, we will win.
Yes,
We will.
yes.
All right.
Thank you very much. So
All
Mikael
right.
Phillips. Was
You
just
take
postponed.
care and all the best to your viewers and listeners. All
I
right.
will, sir. Thank you
And
very
we'll
much.
get together soon. Good.
Yes, sir. Thanks so
Bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
Cool. Head boy, what's going on? Hello? No, he just left. Let me send you the link and you come on, no?
Go to work.
Oh,
Huh?
all right. Yes, I'm with you. Go ahead. You're live on air. Hold on there. Hold on. Yeah, go ahead.
Montego Bay Metro with him.
Oh, Lord, I forgot about that, you know. Oh.
The other that was he will come back.
Yes, he will.
His word is his word.
Yes.
He's an indeed a gentleman. So if he says he's gonna come back, he's gonna come back.
Indeed.
Huh?
All right, head boy.
But I want to tell you that on the same day, I want to use the opportunity to say I think the minister should appoint Jeffrey as a member of the Transport Authority Board. But I won't say anything more on that. Huh?
Appoint who?
Jeffrey.
Which Jeffrey you talking about?
You know a guy named Jeffrey Tavares?
Head boy.
Yes.
May I have friend here? We will talk.
Let me tell you, when him appoint you as a Transport Authority, by them time you can make that life miserable because you'll be running tax because there'll be no job for him.
Yes, boy, we will talk.
Later, my brother.
All right,
I'll
cool.
enjoy the interview, man.
Yeah, man. Cool. Thanks much. There you have it. It was a good interview. But for those who want to call in, curious from the taxi group, call in and tell me what you think about the interview. 954-529-8030. 954-529-8030. That's the numbers to call into the program. Here's the number running across your screen there. There you go. There it is. Call in and talk to us. What do you think about the program here? The interview with Mikael Phillips. He promised to come back on the program to speak to us and the issues, and to also Tin is about to join us too. Sorry. And also he's willing to take good night, Mr. Hessen. Welcome to the program. You're live. Hello, Steve.
Welcome, boss.
Yes, man. We were calling him. Mr. Phillips just left.
Huh?
Mr. Phillips just left. We were calling you earlier on to come on, but I didn't get you.
Yeah, me just come in about 5 minutes. Me hear when you man give him and leaving.
Yes. But Steve, you listen to the opposition spokesperson speech in Parliament?
Yes.
But don't you think that the Minister of Transportation didn't address the transport sector, but the opposition spokesperson did? Your views on that? Why didn't the Minister of Transport didn't address the people?
The Minister of Transport don't respect the PPV sector. So he have no time for us. Yeah, that is the frontline duty. And the opposition minister give us a very good speech.
Yes.
Right? His speech was wonderful.
It was.
Yes.
So Steve, I spoke to him about the parking in Halfway Tree. And he said that if and when he becomes minister, he will try and do something about it. I spoke to him also about the ticket. And curiosity to call you not curious, because you always talk about this ticketing system here. He spoke to us about the ticket, that he will look into the whole ticket. Why is it that nothing has been done in refunding the people when it comes down to the ticketing system?
It's all about playing politics.
Yes.
Politics.
He also talked to us about the oh Lord, it slipped me now. But we're talking about so many things, Steve, that I think the minister should address some of these issues. To be honest, I wanted to talk to him about the Montego Bay Metro, and I told him to forget all about it. There's some hanky panky going on the Montego Bay Metro,
Yes, we know that.
So do you think that if he becomes minister, Steve, he will do something for the transport sector?
I believe he will do better than the present minister now.
So why is that the current? So why is that the current? Minister, why is it the current minister can't do more for the public transport sector?
The present minister is my opinion, and this is my word. Him don't respect the PPV sector. Whereas when I come on to private own, yes. Like, he may respect the JUTC and them thing there, but when you go man them who own others thing, him don't respect us.
Boy, Stephen, you have so many people in the public transport sector who is hands in and gloves in this minister though.
In everywhere you go, you're going to find people do these things.
Yes. I have curious calling Hessen. Hold on for me, Hessen. Hold on. Hessen, go on to the thing and come in. I can bring you in. Go on to the thing and come on. Yeah. Good night, Sir Curious. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Yes, sir. Respect. Good night. Good night.
Good night. Talk to me.
Well, it was good. It was good to hear the Shadow Minister talking about transportation.
Yes.
Yeah, man. The members been calling for that.
Yes.
I didn't get to hear the whole proceeding, but there is one thing I heard about. The minister talk about the fear. I'm using the fear from the OUR.
Yes.
I can tell you that is pleasing to hear.
Yes.
Not just from me, but the entire transport sector is having a problem with the fear and with inflation when we have inflation and that they are using it.
Hold on for me, curious. Mr. Steve Hessin, if you're hearing me, you got to go out and come back in. You got to connect with your mic and your video. So when you go out and coming back in, you connect with mic and video, Steve, because it is saying, oh, here he is. Hold on. He's connected now. Yes, Steve?
Yes, man.
Yes, welcome. Go ahead for me, curious. You're saying, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying that it was very pleasing to hear the minister highlight the fear issue, to move the fear from out of the hands of politicians and into a agency where we can get fear increase similar to like say a GPS.
Yes.
Because they are using the fear as a political battlefield and it is affecting us. So I know a lot of members would please to hear that.
But look, curious, let me ask you this question here. We have Steve Hessin online too. Let me ask you this question though, I'm curious. In all the meetings that you have gone to with other members, other presidents of the public transport sector, none of them have ever mentioned to the minister about the OUR?
Well, I must say this to you, that there has been serious effort from the transport operators to get the government, the current administration, to look into the fare issue. But what we get from them is a political battlefield. Because leading up to the local government election last year, we see where them drop the JUTC fare to $50 for adults, in the corporate area, just because the election was nigh. And before that, the entire transport sector, we wait 8 years to get an increase while we're facing inflation on a weekly basis at the gas pump. So my argument is that we are just pleased to hear, we are just pleased. It is pleasing to hear this, at least this bit of good news
let me get
from the shadow minister.
Let me get some
And
comments
we only hope that when him go in, him follow through.
let me get some comment from Steve Hessin here. So Hessin, come on in. Your views on the idea of the opposition spokesperson on transport saying he's going to take away, put back the fare increase to the OUR.
Okay, I think we trying to get back that thing years ago. And I recall Mr. Bruce Miller, one of them who always bidding for the OUR to take it over. But because I politics and because I football team what a politician them have with the PPV sector, nobody is not willing to bail the cats. So every politician want to keep it fair very low, right? Because it's politics. But we must get up and really try our very best to get it back. Because it's a politics thing, and we as private sector can't just go there and say yes, we want it. It's very hard. So like Mr. Phillips, if him come in his seat, he will put it back. That is a plus for us. But hope is not a 3 card. Hope is not a 3 card. Because when we are on the other side of the fence, we see everything. But when we inside the playing field, it's a different ball game.
Yes. Hold on there, Steve. Let's bring back in Curious.
Yes.
Yes, you heard Mr. Phillips also said that he will try his endeavor best to speak about try and do something about the ticketing system and those money that was paid and the court order to be paid back. Your take on that?
Wonderful. I must say this. I'm sorry that I didn't get to hear the early part of
You can go back and watch it. You can go back and watch it. It's on the YouTube channel.
Yes, I will do so. But concerning the traffic tickets, Jeffrey.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things that we try to highlight to Jamaican people is that a good 80% of these traffic tickets that they tell Jamaican people that was outstanding. A good 80, and I quote, 80% of these tickets are illegal and violate the constitutional rights of the members. I mean, of all Jamaican who received those tickets.
Yes.
Yeah. The problem we are having is the government determined to use those illegal, unconstitutional tickets to prosecute members. And it is still happening today. To date, as we speak, it is still happening. Members cannot get them driver's license renewed as a result of these. And I will quote it again. Illegal, unconstitutional traffic tickets. Members cannot get them driver's license. If them driver's license law, them cannot get it back because of these illegal traffic tickets. And members cannot get them PPV badge as a result of these illegal, unconstitutional traffic tickets. More than anything else, Sir Jeffrey, more than anything else, the Supreme Court ruling that came out and ruled that Jamaican people, so now just talk about PPV operators now, every Jamaican who was given a ticket with an increased fine and paid must get back their money. And to date, I don't hear of one Jamaican that received back any a dollar.
So let me ask this question, curious. When it comes down to that,
yes,
did any member of the public transport sector, any presidents of the public transport sector, have they raised this issue with Mr. Vaz? Oh Lord, what is that?
I tell you the truth. So far as I know it, you don't have much of these representative or so-called representative. To me, it is as if it don't concern them.
So the answer is no.
No, they will raise it on the platforms, but I have not heard where it is raised in the committee meetings.
Let me ask.
And I have made a lot of effort then to get this issue to the relevant people, and I have even sat down with some of these members who is on the committee and sending written recommendation. I want to tell you something.
But hold on for me, Kiros. Hold on for me. Steve, unmute your mic and come on in here. Steve, unmute your mic for me. Yes, Steve. Are you aware of any president or anybody who is involved in speaking to Darrell Vaz ever put to him that this illegal ticket system that they had with the people and some people getting locked up and all that other thing? Have you heard anybody put it?
The corruption about it, The corruption about it. The president, them do not drive car. Them not getting no ticket, so them don't care. Them don't care. Right? The only thing them care about is to shake Darrell Val and shaky politician them, and that is the only thing them cares about. Them don't care about nothing more. And it's sad to say. You understand?
Hold on.
You cannot,
Curious.
you
Hold on
cannot,
for me. Hold on for me. Curious. You need to mute your mic.
Mute.
Yes, mute it because you're having a feedback here.
you cannot find a president. You cannot find a president what you can say, okay, you can trust to say them can do this and them can do that. Nothing at all. Every president just look in favor from a politician. Them want to say, okay, my friend, my this. So them don't care about the sector. Them don't care nothing about the sector. So that is just the truth about it. You understand me? Nobody cares.
Wow.
But sometimes we can't blame them too. Because some people in the sector, some drivers also don't care about themselves. So sometimes we can't blame the people them too. Honest.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. You call a meeting, nobody don't want to come. But everybody can go on WhatsApp and talk this and talk that. You understand?
It's because I open up the phone lines and nobody not calling in.
Nobody.
That's
You understand? Nobody want to say nothing. But tell them they talk announce the story and everything. Everybody will talk that announce the story. But nobody cares. So sometimes you can't kill a president them. Because the owners them don't care too. Yeah, and sometimes when people don't care, everybody just don't care.
Well, Steve, I get in a wrap-up signal here from the producers. Give me a minute and wrap up now, please, and I give Curious a minute and wrap up. Steve, a minute, wrap up.
Only thing we can say, we hope some people can understand themselves and hope we can get everything together and get it right, and then we can move on from there. That is the only thing I have to say. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Steve Hessen there from the taxi group there in Kingston, Jamaica. Curious, unmute your mic and give me 2 minutes now.
Yes, respect.
Yes, we got to wrap up because I'm getting a wrap up signal here.
Yes, you hear me though?
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Yes, I would love to say that it is good to see the shadow minister out and the conversation, is going forward about traffic tickets and about improving the workplace of the members. So I am very much pleased about that. It's a better fresh air to hear Mr. Mikael coming out and giving his views. I love, what he mentioned about the fear. That is good. We can look forward to that. And as Steve said, I hope him follow through.
Yes.
So I am pleased to get the conversation going, but these ticket issue matter. It must be resolved. My respect.
All right. There you go. Thank you very much for coming on. Steve Hessen
Yes,
also Curious from the taxi groups that I'm a part of.
Yeah.
We chat all the time on those groups. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. We want to say thanks to opposition spokesperson on transport, Mr. Mikael Phillips, for coming on the platform. I wonder if I should get in contact with him. You know what? I want to thank Mr. Mikael Phillips for coming on the platform this evening. Thanks to Sir Finzi Smith. Thanks to your calls. Thanks to those who make this possible. Thanks to Walking in Divine Purpose, who continue to make sure that the chat room is indeed behaving themselves. Until you hear my voice again, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. But before we go, let us do this before we go. We're going to run some ads before we go. We're going to say this before we go. Also, as we leave this platform tonight, we must remember these words. It is not today that our best work can be done, and not some future days or future years. The sense of urgency is what we must have today. Knowing as the saying goes, eternal virtue is the price of liberty. The price of liberty, my fellow Jamaicans, is to stay alert, seek the truth, and to actively participate in the fight of Jamaica's democracy. It is not today that our best work can be done. And not some future days. I'll read it again. I made a mistake there. It is today that our best work can be done. And not some future days or future years. The sense of urgency is now. Knowing, as the saying goes, eternal virtue is the price of liberty. The price of liberty, my Jamaican people, is to stay alert, to seek the truth, and to actively participate in the fight of this democracy that we call Jamaica. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until you hear my voice again, may God bless you. And may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great afternoon. Have a great night, everybody. See you all tomorrow, God is willing.
The One Jamaica Legal Defense Foundation and its global supporters cordially invite Jamaicans a yard and abroad to its inaugural reconnection on June 21st, 2025 at the Ranny Williams Entertainment Center in Kingston, Jamaica. Bring your entire family for a day of food, fun, entertainment, and information. Get an understanding of the Constitution and the skills necessary to exercise your rights and your civic responsibilities as Jamaican citizens. You can't afford to miss this inaugural reconnection rally, June 21st in Kingston. Tune in for further information and updates to Reason with Radigan on YouTube and reggaeglobalradio.com, Saturdays at 3 p.m. New York time and at 2 p.m. in Jamaica.
There you have it. Thank you all very much. God bless you. Have a great night, everybody. See you.
We talk. Jeffrey Tavares represents Yard and Broad and the entire diaspora. As long as it affects the life of our nation, uncover the truth, make we reason, make we talk. And we don't care about no vumva viva va, no upper echelon, nobody is not above the law. As long as it not help Jamaica, make we talk. Make we talk. Unity is strength, make we reason.